Hi everyone, I'm Lee Muirhead.
And I'm Michael Croker. Come on a journey with us as we discover why life gets better with age and how we can all be living proof.
On today's show, Graham explores a beautiful historical coastal town just a few hours' drive from Melbourne. And Stephen Fennick stops by with some great tips for smartphone users.
Plus, later in the show, Tasha shows one lucky lady how to shake off her COVID hibernation wardrobe and rediscover colour and style.
But first up, resident dietitian Carly has some tips on getting more calcium in your diet, even if you're lactose intolerant. Take a look.
Hi Deanne, thank you for having me in your home today.
My pleasure, it's lovely to have you here.
Do you have anything that you'd like to achieve with your health?
Having osteoporosis, I'm quite keen to add more calcium to my diet, and also have a few other intolerances, gluten intolerance, lactose intolerance. So I'm quite concerned about what to eat.
How did you know that you had osteoporosis?
Yeah, about 2 years ago now, my lovely sister had a fall and she ended up with fractures in her back, which was quite painful and quite serious. So they then told her it could be hereditary. My auntie had it and my mother had it. So I went along to get tested, thinking they'd say you exercise, you eat well, you're fine. So I was absolutely shocked to find out that I'm moderately severe with the osteoporosis. So big shock to the system.
How do you feel each day?
Probably have a bit of low energy compared to some people around here at GemLife who just do everything. I find I do get tired. I do a few things, but I don't have energy to keep going all day like I wish I could.
Okay, so we want to improve your energy levels, look at the osteoporosis and some ideas with your intolerances and get you out and feeling good and using all those fabulous facilities you said you've got.
That would be wonderful.
So should we go and have a look in the kitchen at what you're eating?
Let's do it.
So Deanne's main concerns are osteoporosis and bone health. Now, osteoporosis is a weakening or brittle bones, which you don't want as you get older, because that's going to lead you to have falls, possibly fractures and hospital admissions. So what we need to do to improve osteoporosis and bone health is to have calcium-rich foods alongside some vitamin D from the sun and getting some exercise to build healthy bones. So you can get your calcium from dairy products such as a glass of milk, a cup of yogurt, piece of cheese. So the issue for Deanne is that she can't have lactose. So we need to find some solutions for Deanne that are non-dairy sources of calcium so that she doesn't get those brittle bones as she gets older. Take me through what you have on a typical day. Is this breakfast here?
That's breakfast. So usually some cereal, gluten-free cereal, almond milk, which I have, and usually some berries on top, sometimes some walnuts as well I'll throw in. Lunch usually salad, salmon, tuna salad, some greens, beetroot, I like beetroot. And then for dinner, usually like a chicken stir fry, something like that.
Okay, so you're getting all your protein and your veggies. It definitely looks like a really healthy diet. What I am seeing here though is possibly not much calcium in your diet. Oh. So you're adding almond milk instead of your dairy milk, obviously, with your lactose intolerance. The almond milk that you use, do you know if it's fortified with calcium?
No, it's not actually fortified because I find I have a trouble with that calcium carbonate. So the one I actually use doesn't have calcium.
Okay, so obviously you need to make sure that whatever you're having you can tolerate, but having a fortified plant milk, maybe you could try some other brands or other types, is a good way of getting calcium into your breakfast. There's also some other ideas. There's a calcium fortified tunas and salmons that you can buy now. Almonds and sesame seeds are actually a really good source of calcium. So a suggestion could be, as you already do, snacking on almonds. You could add them into your stir fry. You could sprinkle sesame seeds over your salad.
Okay, that's an idea.
Have you ever heard of tahini?
I have heard of it, haven't used it much.
Tahini is just ground sesame seeds, and that could be used for a dressing or a salad dressing, a stir fry sauce, that type of thing, to add a bit of extra calcium into your diet. Okay. Now, what about tofu?
Not a huge fan of tofu, I must admit.
Okay.
I'll give it a try.
You can get brands that are marinated with flavours as well, so perhaps some of the old tofus that you've tried might not be as nice as some of the newer ones. Okay. You just fry those up and add that. That could be another one to try anyway. And I know notice here you've got some fig and ginger biscuits and a
Yes,
bit of
my
dark
weakness.
chocolate.
Yes, I do like my treats.
There's probably not much of it in biscuits, I must admit, but fresh figs could be another source of calcium for your bones. So you really want to make sure that you're getting that 4 serves a day. And look, if you can't incorporate all of those in to get that amount of calcium, then taking that calcium supplement is really important to keep up those levels so that you don't risk bone issues later on down the track.
Okay.
So do you feel that you'd be able to incorporate some of these tips into your day?
Yeah, easily. The sesame seeds easily. I will try some tofu on your recommendation and probably the tahini as well. But yeah, I think I can incorporate those into my daily routine without too much difficulty.
Great.
Thanks, Carly and Deanne, for sharing some great information about an important topic and how important calcium is as we get older. And I was actually interested in the vitamin D element. We slip, slop, slap maybe a little bit too much and forget that we still need some sun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, seeing how much that Deanne is doing right was kind of shocking to me because so much is good.
Yeah.
And then we find out there's still room to do more.
There is, but it's genetic. So if it is in the family, it's probably something you should get tested and just make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you go with tofu?
I don't mind it, but I think it has definitely changed over the years. I totally agree with what they were talking about there.
Yeah, I was interested in that because my wife brought home tofu just the other week and said, hey, you should try this. And she was preparing a meal in the kitchen and I took one taste and she looked at my face and laughed and said, no. I said, no. But then hearing that there's ways in which you can make the tofu work for you with flavouring was something I'll certainly take away.
Yeah, there you go. You're lucky she still cooked your dinner after saying that.
I'm very lucky. Let me get that straight. Well, up next, it's time for our fashion makeover segment designed to help you look good and feel great. Resident fashion stylist and image specialist Tasha is on location and about to meet Barbara.
We are here in Wood End, here in Victoria, where we are standing outside of Barb and Kent's new home. They've just moved in about 4 months ago, and I can't wait to meet her. Barb! Nice to meet you. Did I scare you?
We lived in Metro, so Melbourne, and we were in lockdown for a good part of 2.5 years. So it was Kent and I, day in, day out.
Wow.
And you feel like, well, what's the purpose? There is no purpose to get up and do your hair and do your makeup and get dressed. And I've been stuck into that. I've stayed there.
But you care.
But I do, and I don't want to be like this. I want to be stylish. It's just held me back. This is me. Black. Black. My husband often says, "You going to a funeral again?"
Well, what colours are you envisioning?
Some naturals, but yeah, probably blues and pinks would have to be my fave. More sort of tailored and fitted.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I want to be able to sort of get up in the morning, take something out that has a bit of colour, has a bit of life, so that would sort of make me feel like that again and just move forward. And then get out there, go to the clubhouse, start, pushing myself to do that, to get out there, but feel good when I walk in there rather than walking in with a pair of trackies. Yeah, which is,
Let's burn the trackies.
Yeah, let's burn the trackies. They were just sort of, they were COVID days.
Can we go look at your wardrobe?
Yes, if you want to see black. Let's go.
Is it in here?
It's in here. This is it. Come in, have a look.
Yeah. So this is you?
That's me.
Right.
There's a lot of black.
I see what you mean. Lots of blacks. Some greys there. So there's a lighter shade there. Yeah. Okay, there's some
Little
pops of color there and black. Okay. And then, so what about shoes?
Oh, not really into shoes, but my boot if I'm wearing jeans.
Oh, black pair.
A black pair, of course. And bananas. They're my favourites.
Do you know, I think we can do so much better. What are your thoughts?
Let's do it.
Agreed?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Okay. What a stylish woman who wants to be colorful. Due to COVID, like so many of us, Barbara had gotten stuck through the years of her being in lockdown. So we're going to wake up her winter because she wants to. So Barb has this beautiful figure where she's smaller up top. So even though we're waking up winter, it's very important to not get oversized up top. And so it's very important to keep things nice and fitted, yeah? She has more of an oval-shaped face, so the fringe is perfect just to create that separation. We're going to do a bob and just hit it right here at the jawline. I can't wait to show you. Watch this face.
Wow, I mean, COVID lockdowns really did affect all of our lives, didn't it? And I actually think it zapped our energy. You know, what will we wear? Oh,
why bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So good that Tasha's on hand to help Barbara rediscover her true style. I really can't wait to see the final result.
No, I'm looking forward to it as well. But right now we are going to welcome back Stephen Fennick, the editor of Tech Guide and one of Australia's top tech journalists. Now he's here today with some great tips for smartphone users.
Yes, welcome Stephen. Now, I've got my phone in hand here, but how important are smartphones in our lives today?
Well, they've become the remote control of our lives, I'd say. They're essential, and there's so many different types of phones we're seeing now too. What you're holding in your hand there, that's the Galaxy Z Flip 4 from Samsung. And Michael, you've got the Z Fold 4, so foldable phones. And of course, you've got your iPhones and Google phones, so many choices.
Yeah.
And they're really taking over the other things in our lives. So who carries a camera around anymore? Who needs GPS separately? You can have that on your phone as well. It's your torch, it's your diary, it's your calendar. Everything's in your phone now. And we also store a lot of information. So I'm sure you guys, if you've left your phone behind, you're a little bit nervous and you feel a little bit lost. That join the club. We're all the same. We're relying so much on these devices nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our phones are with us 24/7 and they carry a lot of important data, our photos, our videos and memories and so much more. So how do we care for all of that content?
Yeah, well, I think you're right. We do so much with our phones nowadays. We use our phones more than our computers when you think about it. We're doing stuff. We're using apps. We're banking. We're shopping. We're doing so much on the devices. So having all that data and securing that data is really important. So you really need to think about your phone as like another computer that you're carrying around in your pocket, and you really need to protect that data.
Well, speaking about protecting though, what happens if something happens to your phone? I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah, well, it's really essential if you have a backup of your phone. Now, I'm sure you've heard you need to back up your computer. Well, your phone is just as, if not more important to back up as well, because you think about it, you were mentioning your photos, your videos. These are precious memories that if you lose those, they're gone forever. So it's really, it's vital to have that backup, because not only are you protecting your memories, you're protecting your banking information, all your data, your contact lists. A lot of things there that you don't want to lose. You may, God forbid, drop your phone in water or someone steals it. You misplace it. And even when you get a new phone, it's a lot easier to put all your stuff on that new device. So that's why having that backup is essential.
For some people, the idea of backing up a phone can be a little bit complicated. Can you take us through that?
Yeah, it's actually simpler than you think, and it's all done on the phone.
Right.
You go into your settings, and there's of course iPhones and Android phones, and both is equally simple to do. With Apple, you've got iCloud, and with Google, you've got Google One. So these are cloud storage services that allow you to, in the settings, allow the phone to back itself up when you're charging your phone overnight. It'll wirelessly put all the new information to your backup, so that every day your phone's backed up with the latest information. So God forbid, if something happens to your phone, or if you buy a new phone, that data's right there to put right back on the phone again.
I'm still getting my head around the cloud. You know, I keep thinking of rain clouds and whatever. Is it safe?
It is. It's safe and secure, and good that it's not near your phone. So you think about it, even having an external hard drive on your computer, if something happens to your house, God forbid you have a fire or something, everything's gone. Having it stored remotely like that in the cloud means it's protected. It's away, so you can access it from anywhere as well.
Okay, well, what about our actual plan? I mean, they can vary in price. Do we buy our phone or do we take a plan? Data? I mean, what do we do?
Well, plans are an essential part. You can't have a phone without a plan.
No.
It connects you to the network. But I recommend for people to do an audit on their plan. If you've had the same plan for 2 or 3 years or longer, go out there and have a look at what you're paying per month, how much data that you're paying for. You'll find over time, data's getting cheaper.
Yes.
So your plan may be cheaper. You may be paying top dollar for data that you can get for half the price. So it's really important for not only for yourself, your family members, to take a look at your plans. You could be saving big money every month.
And would you buy it outright or do the payoff?
There's an option. I would buy it outright. There are options to pay it off separately to your plan. So a lot of the telcos now separate them. so they don't lock you into 2-year contracts anymore. You can go month to month and keep the phone separate to the plan. So there's a lot of flexibility now for a customer to get a new phone, get a new plan, but it's really important. Take a look at what's out there. You may be saving some money.
Yeah.
I think I've got 4G, there's 3G, now I'm hearing about 5G. What's that?
Well, 5G is the 5th generation of the cellular network. So with 4G, I'm sure if you've been at the footy or somewhere a crowded place, it's sometimes when there's a lot of people in that area hitting the same cell, it's really hard to get a message out. It's happened to me at the footy many times. 5G now has greater capacity, so it solves that issue. It can handle more capacity, but it also offers more speed, so faster speeds, so you can download your content a lot further. There's the low latency, so when something happens at one end of the network, it happens instantly at the other. So you'll see 5G used for smart drones, remote surgery, all these things they're working on with 5G is going to be enabled thanks to that speed and low latency.
Thanks, Stephen. Some great tips there to get the most value for your smartphone plan and easily secure important data.
Yes, and up next on the show, Graham indulges in high tea with a spectacular view in a quaint and historic area of Victoria. Let's have a cuppa with Graham.
Well, we heard about this great little coastal town called Port Fairy, about a 290k drive west of Melbourne. And it's a great little town with some great cafes and some beautiful restaurants and some old historic buildings. But I'm going to head out first thing in the morning and check out Griffiths Island, which is an amazing sanctuary for bird life, plants and animals. And I'm going to check out the historic lighthouse. So I'm here at Time and Tide, about to have high tea by the high seas. I'm with host and owner, the lovely Philippa. Thank you so much for having me. This is all very posh and very elegant. Tell me about this incredible place.
Thank you, Graham. Well, Time and Tide, we have been here serving high tea for over 10 years now. We offer high tea, which is very much a special occasion market. And lots of people come back again and again for birthdays, celebrations. It seems to appeal to all generations, so you can bring gran or the grandkids or mum and dad.
That's lovely, and the food looks incredible. And is it all made in-house?
It is indeed, yes. Wow. My very talented husband is the main man in the kitchen, comes up with all these incredible ideas and puts them into reality there.
Well, he's handy to have around then, isn't he? And the view, I don't think you'd ever get sick of this.
I know, it's just gorgeous, isn't it? Yes, and I think it just, the joy is it changes every minute of the day just about. It's just absolutely overwhelming, and we see whales, dolphins, stingrays, all sorts of wonderful sea life out there. But
yes, I'm sure you'd love to enjoy it more, but you're a very, very busy lady by the look of it.
Absolutely.
May I
Of course
partake?
you may,
Thank
indeed.
you so much.
Help yourself.
I'm going to start right in the middle here. So Glenn, tell me about some of the points of interest here in town.
Well, this particular part of the town's interesting because you've got this pub over the road there called the Star of the West. Right. Down the intersection of Cox Street and Sackville Street, you've got 4 magnificent buildings. One of the very first banks in the town, the Bank of Australasia, built in the 1850s. The Stag, which was built in the 1840s. You've got a post office on the other side, which was built in the 1880s.
Beard Street.
Yeah, it's a great street. It's called Wishart Street.
Right.
In fact, Captain Wishart was the chap who named the area Port Fairy initially. It was where William Rutledge lived. And it was William Rutledge who really got this town going. He became bankrupt in the early 1860s. He used to print his own money, Graham, and eventually he got caught out on that. Yeah, look, this is an amazing building, Graham. It's actually Victoria's oldest wooden dwelling that survives. It was built in 1841 to accommodate the harbour master, Captain John Mills, and that's why it's called Mills Cottage.
That's amazing, right?
It is, yes. It's lucky that we have it, and you can see here the front section there would have overlooked the river.
You know, sometimes you visit places where you go, oh, that was nice, or what a great town. And then there's places you visit that touch you on a deeper level and leave you with a lasting impression that will stay with you for years. Port Fairy, you are exactly that and so much more. What a great place. But don't take my word for it. As always, come and check it out for yourself.
I tell you what, he gets around, and high tea is one of my favourite treats.
Really? What's the appeal for you?
I think it's the scones jam and cream. I love the fresh sandwiches.
Yes.
The champagne I noticed there too, and I do enjoy a good cuppa.
That view was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree totally. And did you see how beautiful the weather was?
Port Fairy just oozes charm, so very envious of just how much he's getting around these days.
I know, we need to get him in here and have a chat to him and say, hey mate, take us on your trips.
I think so.
Now listen, are you ready to meet the new Barbara?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, Tash is standing by for the big makeover reveal.
Okay, everyone, I've just assembled some of Barb's closest family and friends. Are you ready to meet the new stylish Barb? Come on, let's go see her. Hello, everyone. Are you guys ready to see your new stylish Barb? With color in winter? I'll go get her. What a stylish woman. Due to COVID, she just felt a bit lazy. And so we're waking up Barb's winter. We want to wake up her wardrobe. The clothes that she gets to live in every day of her life.
Her hair's incredible. I want that hair.
You look years younger, Barb. It's really hard to recognise you when you're walking past on a morning now.
Thanks, guys. Your hair? Do you like my hair? Look. I'll steer away from the black. I'll bring some colour into my life and enjoy these later years.
That's awesome.
Well, it's just like having a new wife. No, but she looks 100% really nice.
This feels like, I don't know, it's like a new me. It feels good. It feels great. I just want to sort of now move forward with this.
To the new Barb.
Wow, that was amazing. Wow. Barb was completely transformed.
That was such a big change. I know Kent's very happy.
Well, he's getting a new wife.
But don't you find it amazing that a simple haircut, colour, and some colour to the wardrobe, and I agree with what they were saying, Barbara looks years younger.
Yeah, and I think Tasha had a great line there. It's time to wake up your wardrobe. And I think that's probably a good line for most of us. Do that check-in occasionally. Could I do with a little bit of a makeover here?
Yeah, and you know what? I did live in my trackies as well. I'm going to say that even though we didn't have as much lockdown as Melbourne, and it is hard to get back into the hair, makeup, shoes.
You never struck me as a tracky girl.
Oh, I'm a tracky girl.
Okay.
Tracky and Uggies.
No judgment. Well, that's it for this episode. A very special thank you to all of our guests.
Yes, and to Tasha, Graham, Stephen and Carly, as always, for their amazing insights and advice on how we can all be living proof that life gets better with age.
See you next time.